Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Flip Chat and Chill, where we get to gather people to talk about the ins, the outs, the ups and downs, the good, the bad, and the beautiful of freelancing. And today our topic is, Anna.
Can your freelancing career survive another pandemic? Ayan.
Oh, can your freelancing career survive another pandemic? Bakit ba ito pag-uusapan natin na nasa pandemic na tayo?
Grabe, bakit ito yung topic natin? Napaka-ano
Parang napakamunde.
Di ba nga, kasi hindi pa naman tapos ang pandemic, baka mamaya meron pang another year or two, huwag naman sana, pero yon kailangan nating paghandaan pa rin kahit papano. So, ayan ang ating topic for today, and welcome, Honey Be.
Or dumating yung principal.
Hindi ako lang pinalagpad. Sabi ko, nandito ka, Elge. Sorry ka, Be, dali. Nandito si Elge.
Oo, nandyan si executive, sa kanyang executive chair.
Yes.
Yan ang dapat na may safety deposit box.
Magkakaroon yan.
But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, yes, kindly share this video on your wall and kalad ka rin yung mga kasama ninyo. Because sometimes, hindi lang pandemic ang pinag-uusapan dito. It's another disaster. It's one disaster after the other. Our country is prone to many disasters. Hindi lang po pandemic. And the problem with pandemic is it is worldwide. Kaya ito ang pag-uusapan natin dahil what if there's going to be another problem that'll cause even our clients, not just us. So can we survive? Is our freelancing career doomed or is it going to thrive? Yan po ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon, ladies and gentlemen. At sige, batiin natin ang mga viewers natin, Ana.
Yes, batiin natin ang ating mga viewers, si Shasha Vered Moradas from Davao City. Mukhang ang daming taga Davao kasi nakaladkad ko si Elge. Lovely Gino Sendag from Bicol and Castillejos. Pamana ng knowledge daw and skills, Sir Phoenix. Yung pag-usapan natin kanina, mga ipapamana. Yan, si Aljon Jovi about Tyrus Mendoza nga ba ng pangalan. Hello, Carmi watching from Tansa, Cavite. Si Anne watching from Qatar. Si Kates Yorotami from San Jose del Monte, Bulacan. Ivy Flores from Davao City. Si Jessa Tagalog. Good evening, Catherine Fadre Matias. Helen Santos Riana watching from Antipolo City. Si Ena BG Empay. Joseph Talaed from Bukidnon. Margie Canen Bontuyan from Mandaue, Cebu. Red Maria, hello. Janine Canobida Panyamogan, pinahirapan ako Hello, watching and listening here. Good day. Ayan, sabi ni Carmi, bigla ka daw nandito. Yee! Sabi ko, ay kulang sa guests para maraming dumalgal. Red Maria ulit from Davao City. Sabi sa'yo, dami taga Davao. Si Myra Ordanes watching from Italy. Mariel Kimberly Liwag Ebron from Taguig. It's Sam, hello daw sa akin. Yan. Si Charmaine May Manglona watching from Negros Occidental. Monet Nacario from Bicol. Cherian from Kuwait. Ruina Jayagan from Masames Occidental. Si Ed Sam from Cebu. Jarabay. Jean Mendoza Jarabay. Butuan City. Hello. Romeo De Leon. Bob from Harvard. Wow. Martin Craig. Karaig ba to? Craig. San Fernando, Pampanga. Yan, ang daming viewers. And si Chris Haragena from Davao City ulit. Ayan. Hello sa inyong lahat and stay tuned lang kayo until the end. And then,
maraming salamat at nandito kayo, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, the problem with freelancing is marami tayong fears. Marami tayong fears of the unknown. And one of the unknown is the volatility of our career as freelancers. Maraming mga hindi pa makapasok-pasok sa freelancing because they fear na walang assurance ang freelancing. Marami pang hindi nag-transition to full-time freelancing because yun nga, ang fear nila is the volatility compared to pagpapasok ka sa corporate. And that is something that we need to address because pandemic came. These fears came around before pandemic. Nung nagkaroon tayo ng pandemic dito, it seems like lahat tayo nag-alala na mawawalan tayo ng client. Which is true, marami sa atin itong nawalan ng client, but at the same time, last year, 2019, nag-thrive ang mga freelancers, ladies and gentlemen. Marami sa inyo itong nahikayat, itong na-invite at na-encourage na pumasok dito sa freelancing journey. So, let me ask the panel. Let's start with Jeline here. May fear ba tayo na with this pandemic, mawawalan tayo ng client?
Hello po. Good afternoon po sa lahat. So, to answer the question directly, ngayon po wala akong fear na nararamdaman kasi sorry po dun sa tumutunog kasi nagpapagawa ng buko pero patapos na naman siya.
Okay lang.
Tapos yun, wala akong fear na nararamdaman as of now kasi kumbaga I am secure na meron po akong day job, government employee po ako, so yun, kumbaga stable naman, pero dun sa freelancing business, okay naman po. For sure, kung mawalan man, for example, ngayon, sa mga susunod na araw, magkakaroon ulit kasi I keep on networking naman.
I love that. Your solution to the problem, to the fear is networking. Agad sinagot ni Jeline ang ano natin, ang question of the day natin. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you, what is the fear? Pagdating sa sa volatility of freelancing, yun nga, sinasabi natin volatile ang freelancing. What is the particular fear? Natatakot ba kayo na kayo'y mawawalan agad ng ng job? Natatakot ba kayo na ang contract ninyo is not permanent? Let us know in the comment section down below. Cyril, let me ask you. Well, at the start of the pandemic, meron ka bang kinatakutan?
Nung nag-freelance na po ako, that time, nung baka mawalan ako ng client. Then, nung mga kalagitnaan na, as long as may problem si client, and ayun, hindi na ako natatakot mawalan ng clients. Kasi, na sobrang daming market, sobrang daming clients, you just need to find them. Tapos, hanggat may problem sila, ayun, hindi ka mawawalan ng client. At saka, everything is going digital na. Maybe siguro 2 to 3 years, everything is going digital na. So, halos lahat is online na. Wala nang hindi mabibili online. So, hindi na nakakatakot kasi we are surviving the online system na for almost 1 year, magto 2 years na. So, ayun. Tsaka lahat ng businesses is going online. May physical store, pero may online pa din, which is hindi ako natatakot mawala ng client because they need someone online na kailangan silang tulungan about it. Ayun po.
I love that. I love that answer. Assured si Cyril. Ayan, ladies and gentlemen, saan yung mga natatakot pa rin dahil baka anong mangyayari sa freelancing? She said herself, Cyril said it herself, na meron tayong makukuhang work sa freelancing. So, thank you for that, Cyril. What about you, LJ? Nowadays, what is the fear in regards to pandemic related to freelancing?
Siguro ang fear ko, number one, because of my recent COVID-19 scare nga, was that I wouldn't be able to work or I cannot monitor yung operations namin because maapektuhan talaga, of course, yung results, the clients, and of course, yung financial aspect. Kasi what if pala nagkaroon ako ng, God forbid, critical or severe na level or condition of the virus nga, diba? So, most likely, hindi talaga ako makapagtrabaho noon. So, yun, that's one of my fears naman din. If regarding this pandemic. Pero so far, thank God nga na negative ako last week lang. And then tuloy-tuloy na ngayon. So being very cautious, being very careful talaga, di na masyado lumalabas, lalo na't nagsaspike yung mga cases namin dito sa Davao City. By the way pala, hello sa mga Bisaya, sa mga bisdak dirama yung hapon. Here in Davao City kasi medyo nag-triple, around average of 30 to 50 cases per day lang, but in the past weeks like 100 per day na. So that was like grabe surge talaga kaagad, which we prepared for naman kasi nga 'di ba yung NCR was yung mga nangyari diyan. Pero anyway, going back to that, and to answer siguro din the question na can your freelancing career survive another pandemic? First of all, hopefully wala nang susunod na pandemic, 'di ba? But if ever man meron ulit, then yes, it can survive because of course we are going with the trend naman na online na nga lahat, kaya nga gaya nga ng sabi ni Cyril. And I would also add na invest in online or digital skills din, 'di ba? And then invest in your network and relationships din kasi most of the time past few years ang mga clients ko are really just from referrals na, and then ako na lang yung parang oo or hindi kung gusto ko. So yun.
I love that. Thank you very much for that, LJ. At saka pala, Cyril, mag-hi ka nga sa mga audiences natin. Ikaw na lang hindi nag-hi.
Ayun, hi, hello po. Magandang gabi po sa inyo.
Ayan, magandang gabi po. Pasensya na po, hindi ko na-introduce agad-agad ng mga panel natin. Parang, nakarambulang isip ko dahil hindi ko pa nabuksan yung Clover ko kasi. Ayan, nang iinggit si Honey kasi eh. And speaking of Honey, ayan, buti pa siya, sandali. While you're answering, kukunin ko yung chopsticks ko kaya hindi ko mabuksan yung Clover ko. Wala akong chopsticks eh. But, here is something that, nasa na yung nagsabi nun na Ayan. Sabi ni BG Mendoza Jarabay, yes, kasi gaya ko na newbie lang, parang ang hirap makipag-compete sa my experience now. Then most of the job posts that they need with at least 1 or 2 years of experience related to the job. Nakakagalit ito Kasi this has been our problem. This has been like a complaint of many newbies time and time and time again. Lagi na lang sinasabi nila itong 1 to 2 years. Okay, sige. Medyo galit ako. Honey, could you address this? Pagdating sa nowadays na medyo highly in demand ang freelancers. Is it true that a lot of the companies require you to have experience, or mas marami pa bang opportunities rather than before?
Right now, mas maraming opportunities, especially with the fact that most businesses are moving to the digital realm na and learning how to adapt and transition successfully into hybrid type of work. Sasabihin natin hybrid because it's either some businesses will be still doing some office-based work, and then meron din mga businesses na would still go into the digital fully. So, mas maraming opportunities for freelancers katulad sa atin na magkaroon ng work dito sa aspect na to. And the fact that anybody saying or any business is saying na they're looking for people that have 1 or 2 years worth of experience, I think it's just the way you position yourself to that business owner. Kasi more often than not, and I've said this before then, is that you do have experience kahit hindi ito digital. You just need to learn how to translate that into digital. So sabihin natin you were an admin worker sa corporate. All you need to do is translate that. So let's just say, especially sa mga nag-admin work for like 20 years, ang ganda na ng portfolio nyo. Doon pa lang, the way you learned how to organize as an administrative person, meaning you had that glorifying experience as an administrative staff na kaya mo idala into the online staff. It's just that the online stuff. Ang different lang dito is the tools that you're going to be using and how you'll be carrying yourself online. Imbis na you're doing face-to-face, you are doing it virtually na. So I would suggest and I would encourage those people to always look back into your past experiences and bring it forward and ipagmalaki nyo na meron kayong ganitong experience. And it might not be online, but it's still work experience. Diba, Elj? Mga call center dyan.
Yes, of course.
I mean, Elj, yung totoo, sumama lang ako dito kasi andito ka.
Ah, talaga ba? Sige, alis na ako. Alis tayo. Doon tayo sa kabila.
Ano nangyari? Kinuha ko lang yung chopsticks ko, bigla naman nang naiba ang usapan.
Very Tama naman yung sinabi ni Honey. Very, very applicable yun, of course. Especially at this time nga, di ba, na most of the companies are really going online, remote, or distance na nga yung mga employees niya. So, they need a way to be connected. And most of the employees are becoming remote employees na. May mga alam pa nga ako iba na mas preferred nila yon kasi nakakapag-sideline pa sila sa mga household chores kahit naka on the clock sila sa trabaho, 'di ba? So yun. It's very for the newbies naman din. Newbie kayo siguro in the online world, pero sa work, if it's related naman, hindi na kayo newbie doon. Kailangan niyo lang talaga i-transfer yung parang skills ninyo to digital and i-transfer yung parang experience ninyo to digital din.
Yes. Oh, tsaka kami rin naman nag-start din kami sa newbie and nung nag-start din naman kami, talaga namang mahirap talaga sa umpisa, diba? Mahirap talagang makahanap ng first client mo. Kahit kami ni Elj, ni Honey, na-experience namin. Pero yun, yung consistency lang talaga sa paghahanap. At saka yun, kung gusto mo talagang makahanap ng client, aaralin mo kung paano talaga makahanap, diba? Kasi parang, ano lang naman siya, ang difference lang talaga, like sinabi nga ni Honey, translate mo lang talaga into online yung mga previous na experience mo offline, diba? So, yun lang. Parang syempre, mangangapa ka, parang ano naman talaga yun sa umpisa, diba? Kapag baguhan ka sa isang bagay, talagang mahirap sa umpisa. Like, parang baby, di ba, sa umpisa nahirapan maglakad, di ba? Kailangan gabayan, ganyan. So, ganun din. Same lang din. So, dapat talaga aralin mo kung paano and yun, maging consistent lang din sa paghahanap ng work, ng client. Kasi marami namang client, ako nakahanap naman ako ng client na first time lang din sa Upwork, first time lang din mag-hire ng VA. So, yung marami din siyang willing mag-train, maraming client na magbibigay sa iyo ng chance para i-prove na may skills ka at saka kaya mong gawin yung mga pinapagawa nila sa iyo. So yun, wag ka lang mag-give up, BG. Okay?
There are two things that you need to keep in mind kayo mga newbies. So this is speaking from what I remember during my newbie times. There are two things that you can do. Kayo mga may experience offline, kayo mga 20 years, 6 years, yung mga Filinash ko dyan na mayroong mga experiences offline, kung alam nyo yung skill na yun, you can still sell yourselves. You can still sell your skills and say, I have experience offline. Walang difference yan. There is no difference between offline, your experience outside and online. Walang difference yon. Yung parang ano lang, yung mga tools na lang ang magkaiba, which is so easy for you to learn. Kaya you need to sell your skills kung meron kayong skills. And to those of you who are feeling insecure dahil maraming mga clients na magsasabi, we need 1 to 2 years, ditch them, ignore them, and look for other clients who are in need of your service regardless of your experience. Hindi po tayo katulad dito sa ibang mga corporate na kailangan fresh graduate ka, 21 years old, and yet meron kang 10 years experience. Hindi po ganyan hindi po ganyan sa freelancing, okay? Wag kayong matakot. Kung meron mga nagre-require ng ganyan, ditch them because sa dami ng mga pwedeng ma-applyan dyan, kamo na lang doon sa client na naghahanap ng experience sa'yo. And yun nga, sabi nga nila, meron kayong experience. All you need to do is translate your skills. Hindi porket meron yung iba na naghanap ng experience, ano? Experience doesn't require you to have experience online. Remember that. Kung meron kayong nakitang job description doon at masasabi mong, uy, kaya ko yun that means you already know what you are going to do. All you have to do is apply. Sabihin mo lang sa client, sa potential client na, kaya ko yan. Right? Do not be afraid kapag wala kayong experience online. Kasi even from school, yung mga natutunan nyo sa school, yung mga mag-Excel, yung mga mag-WordPress na yan, yung mga basic na skills na mga yan, you can still make money out of it. So please, wag kayong ma-insecure. Nagalit talaga ako dyan sa nagre-require ng experience na yan. Nakakagigil eh. Charmaine May Manglona says, I was a newbie last year and was hired as a social media manager by an e-commerce entrepreneur. She just gave me a course to learn social media management. See? Ayan, ladies and gentlemen, marami mga clients na hindi rin nila kailangan ang experience mo kasi meron silang sariling pattern na sinusundan. Meron silang gustong gawin mo. So, irrelevant ang experience mo. What matters is magagawa mo ba yung pinapagawa nila. James Kabate says, Kabagte, I'm sorry for that. I'm newbie here and I really wanted to learn about freelancing field. I have 6 years of experience for being a supervisor as customer service and I hope this is a good choice for me. Yes, this is a good choice for you. And like Honey and LJ said, all you need to do is translate your experience to online. Wala kang dapat katakutan pa dyan, James. Now, let me go to... Ba't anong nangyari kay Jeline? Nagpaalam ba yun?
Nawala ng kuryente.
Kuryente po, nawala ng kuryente.
Oh, how unfortunate.
Wala natin sa kanila eh.
How unfortunate. Hindi ba sa kapupok na pupok siguro yun. Yung linya nila. Ano ba yan?
Nadali yung kuryente.
Oo nga. But let me go to Cyril. Ang tanong is, can your freelancing career survive another pandemic? Isn't it the other way around? Hindi ba ang sitwasyon natin is mas marami actually itong opportunities nung nangyari itong pandemic na ito?
Opo, mas dumami yung opportunities kasi nga po lahat is going online.
So how wide is the opportunity? Kasi may mga nagsabi dito just like Mary here says, I'm still college student and I want to take risks in freelancing. So gaano ka wide ang opportunities para sa mga freelancers? Okay ba ang mga college students, ang mga senior citizens? Kasi karamihan sila itong naapektuhan.
Opo, ayun, I know 16 years old, 15 years old already on freelancing na. So I think high school pa lang sila. So college student, super okay yan. Tapos mas okay yun kasi ang college student, madami pang matututunan. Kaya tsaka student sila, more on learning sila. Tapos ayun, you can land a part-time job even though you're a college student. That's a very good idea. Tsaka maaga nag-start ka ng maaga. Maganda nag-start ka ng maaga. Tapos, ayun lang, kailangan mo lang din aralin. Parang college lang. Yung imbis na studies, ibig ko sabihin, imbis na books na, nagnonood ka na ng mga courses. Yun lang yung pagkakaiba natin. Tasingit lang ako dun kay Maria Cristina, yung kanina po, about the 20 years na legal secretary. That is a perfect job for executive assistant na po. Hindi na VA, executive assistant na. Kasi legal secretary, of course, ma'am, I know that you are using computer na for the 20 years. Doon ka din nagkikip ng files and everything. So, ang pagkakaiba lang po nun is, ang boss mo, pero ikaw yung boss, pero ibig ko sabihin, kung kanino ka nag-work, online mo lang siya makakausap, it's either international, pero the same way, the same routine, ganun pa din yun eh. Online lang, ayun nga, parang naging online lang siya. Tapos, mas madali, much better. Kaya ayun, pang executive assistant yung 20 years na yun. You can just put it on experience kasi VA, ang hinahanap is resume. So ayun, pwede mo sabihin na it's offline. Ayun.
I love that. I love that. And thank you very much for addressing Maria, Mr. Sai. So, nakalimutan ko, Sai pala dapat ang tawag natin sa kanya. Sorry for that. Si Sai pala, ladies and gentlemen, siya ang recently na-interview ko last week. And I encourage you to watch that interview dahil marami siyang nasabi doon. Marami siyang nasabi doon na, na quality advices. So I hope that you get to rewatch the Just Success last week. LJ, ikaw itong nagkaroon ng COVID scare.
Scare
At ikaw itong ikaw itong nagsabi na na health ang isang dapat na i-priority mo in your freelancing career. What are the steps that each freelancer need to take during this pandemic to keep themselves COVID free?
Yeah, number one, of course, to follow all of the health protocols naman. Sometimes we will feel na parang wala na or parang hindi ko na feel na magsuot ng mask or magsuot ng, face shield paglalabas niya kasi parang it's fatigue na since last year pa, 'di ba?
Mm-hmm.
But we can never be complacent until, mawala na talaga siya. Even the vaccinated ones, they can still get it, 'di ba? So how much more yung mga hindi. So number one is not to be complacent, and then number two is to make sure na you are moving pa naman din, 'di ba? Even if you're at home, then you can do some at home workouts or exercise, and wag mo pabayaan din yung health mo kasi if ever baka hindi ka man maano ng COVID, baka iba yung makuha mo, 'di ba? And of course, we don't want that din. That will also affect yung freelancing career mo and of course yung family mo din talaga. Doon ako naaawa if ever man na magkaano ako, makuha ko yung virus, maawa ako sa family talaga. And then siguro number 3 is to always be updated na lang din kung ano yung nangyayari sa lugar ninyo so that you will know kung may curfew pa ba so that you will avoid din any negative sa law enforcement or whatever. Baka pala paglabas mo pa lang huling ka na kaagad, 'di ba? So, yun, you have to be very alert then. I know that a lot of freelancers don't like watching the TV, don't like watching news or whatever because of all of those negative things or negative vibes, but it helps to be updated, not just in the TV or news, but also on social media. Then, wag lang yung parang super over na na-addict ka na you're not working anymore and all of that.
I love that. I think marami sa atin itong nagka-COVID scare. And LJ, haven't you learned anything about preserving your kasi napag-usapan natin ang pamana kanina. Haven't you considered na may papalit sa'yo, may backup, may parang counteraction kung sakaling nagkasakit ka. Heaven forbid, right? Heaven forbid na magkasakit ka. But if that happens, have you learned to protect your clients?
Yes, there's already steps that we've, even before the pandemic pa, we already have steps on what's going to happen, what's gonna be done. Yung parang turnover process.
Yes. Turnover. Yes, that's the word. Turnover. Thank you for that. Ayan,
By
ladies
the way,
and gentlemen.
Phoenix, if I can just
Go
address
ahead,
din itong si Mary Kathleen kasi I started 10 years ago as a college student then part-time. So yes, dun sa question na do you think I can land a part-time job even though I'm a college student? Yes, definitely. Kahit hindi ka pa legal age kasi 17 ako nag-start noon. Wala kaming kailangan ng mga verification kay Upwork or whatever. Pero ngayon, of course, kailangan na, 'di ba? And there are so many other platforms and channels naman na even if you're still a student, that you can get the job or even if it's a beginning job pa lang, 'di ba? Whether local man siya na client or pwede rin international. So, wag natin siguro isipin na just because I'm a student or young pa na is this going to work for me? Dapat positive yung parang pag-iisip natin yun na, it's good na I'm gonna be starting this young. 'Di ba? Yun din yung naisip ko before na I'm starting this young para I can build my future through this career na. Hindi na yung parang what society wanted me to do or what my family wants me to do, 'di ba?
I love that. Thank you very much for addressing that, LJ, because it also reminded me, ang dami nyo, ladies and gentlemen, ngayon na, nakikita ko sa comment section, ang dami ninyo itong nagsasabing na, for example, Maria says, do you think being a legal secretary for almost 20 years be a good advantage? And then si Mary naman, sabi niya, I'm just a college student. Will I be able to survive freelancing? The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, whatever disadvantage that you think that you have, try to ignore that. Do not introduce that to freelancing. Hayaan nyo lang, iwan nyo lang sila. If you're just a college student, then don't mention it. Don't mention that you're a college student. If you have 20 years of experience in legal, then gamitin mo. That is a positive trait. That is an asset that you have. So kayong mga ladies and gentlemen, stop thinking of what you do not have and think of what you have. Because yon ang pagpeperahan ninyo. Which pati sana yan? Yusef says, I have work experience assistant manager in a fast food chain abroad for almost 6 years. Do I have a chance to work as a freelancer? What is basing on your experience, what are the skills that you have that you can introduce to your client that, you can solve their problems? Because whatever your experience, ladies and gentlemen, whatever your experiences were, ano ang skills na meron doon na pwede nyong i-apply online? Because to the client, it doesn't really matter what your experience is. What matters is if you can solve their problem. Okay? Let's try to be clear with that. Kaya, positive thinking lang. Kung ano ang kaya ninyong gawin, yun ang gamitin nyo. Kung ano ang hindi nyo kaya or disadvantages ninyo, iwan nyo lang. Huwag nyo lang banggitin kasi. With that regard, Miss Honey, dahil ikaw ang expert sa delivering on your positive traits and leaving your negative traits, how does one introduce themselves to their clients pagdating sa ganyan na meron silang mga insecurities and yet meron silang mga assets?
I think the insecurities should be addressed first. So, halimbawa yung ganito, somebody mentioned, madami kasi nagsabi that they've worked for how many so-and-so. So, for example, this person, I'll take this example kasi si Maria Cristina has a ang ganda na ng portfolio niya, 20 years legal. There are so many clients out there that are looking for paralegals. So, ayun na ikaw, you have a perfect selling point na, which is 20 years as a legal assistant. Which means that in itself is, that will get you through the door na to the client. Kasi nakita na nila 20 years, ito maayos to. Now, it's just up to you to build up your self-confidence by identifying what are the things that you like about yourself. Hindi yung I know that tayo mga Filipinos, we have a tendency to be very humble. But then, actually, extremes tayo. It's either humble tayo or magiging hambog tayo.
Humbug.
Yeah. We are never in between. But then I want us to make a practice of being somewhere, of meeting in between of the humble and the humbug. So kailangan na we also list down the things that we've done before na compliment tayo, or the things that we think that we do very well. So for example, number one na dito kay Maria is she's worked for 20 years. Nobody can work that, well, I'm not saying nobody, but then it's very difficult to work that long in the legal, for 20 years na, let's say na 20 years siya sa isang company. How difficult is that, diba? To work in one company for that long. So, ayan pa lang, number one, that's a very good trait na. Another thing, how was your performance back then? What were your achievements? Ano yung mga accomplishments mo? Did you spearhead a project or something? Mga ganon. You think of all of those. And how did you organize things? Ayan, so yung mga ganyan na bagay, you list it down, and that is what will be your selling point to the client. After you have gotten through the door, kumbaga, what I'm referring to as getting through the door is getting an interview na. Ayan. So when you get past that, then you bring all of those accomplishments that you've had before, and then yun yung ipagmamalaki mo na I've done this, I've done that, I was able to spearhead this project, what happened was ganito, and this is what we accomplished, and this was the result. So, lagi mo ipapakita ano yung project na ginawa mo, ano yung nangyari, ano yung naging result. Making sure that the result is, syempre, you're the one who, ikaw yung bida dito. Okay, so always think of what you have done. Okay, I have what do you call this? A chart that I always do for my VA agencies, where they have to think of a situation. So there's a column for a situation, and then there's a column for feelings, and then there's a column for facts, where they segregate a scenario, put it in the situation column, and then they have to describe what were their feelings, and then they have to describe what were the facts. So let's say if the situation was nagkamali sila sa, let's say, a meeting with a client, they said something wrong, and then yung feeling nila is that they're not worth to make a presentation sa kliyente nila. That's their feeling. But sa'yo lang yun. The fact was na pinili ka ni client na mag-present because they trust that you can do the work and you can deliver. So those are the facts. So it's always that you always have to rely on the facts rather than relying on your feelings. So remove the feelings of insecurities. I know it's very hard, but then it's something that you have to work on every day. Don't stop, just keep working on it. And that's it.
I love that. And ayan yung mga workarounds, ladies and gentlemen. Yan ang gusto ko kay Honey. Follow Honey. Dahil marami siyang marami siyang maituturo sa inyo, especially when it comes to building up confidence. Marami siyang maituturo sa inyo. And I love specifically what she said. Think about the things that you like about yourself. Kasi yun nga, yung sinasabi ko rin kanina, yung mga insecurities ninyo, sometimes pagdala-dala ninyo yan sa pagsusulat ng cover letter or even sa interview, lumalabas yun, and your client will smell it out of you. And your client doesn't want to deal with problems, right? Kasi meron na nga silang problema, tapos idadagdag mo pa yung insecurities mo. Hindi nila problema yan. Dapat pagpasok mo sa freelancing, you are confident that you are going to help them. You are able to help them. So focus on the things that, yun nga, yung sabi ni Honey, think of the things that you like about yourself. And I really, really love that. Sai, may isa rin dito na sabi, what about yung mga medyo marami nga ang experience pero papalit-palit ng work. Is there something that they can carry from that to freelancing?
Is it advisable po to only focus on one area of freelancing? Yes po.
No, not that one, this one. Yeah, job hoppers.
Depende sa ano pong job hoppers yun. Like example, kung madami kang experience, pwede naman yun i-turn mo nga lang din talaga siya online. Then, that experience, use it para maging advantage mo, lalo na sa call kay client, ipagyabang mo yung sarili mo na, okay, this is how I did it. This is how I solved my client's problem. Ito yung ginawa ko. Ganun, parang anong ginawa mo sa job na yun, yung mga job hoppers. Then, another one is ganun, ikikwento mo lang kay client na I also have experience with this. Ganun, advantage siya. Kasi yung iba is wala talaga experience. Hindi ko naman sinasabing walang advantage yung mga wala experience. Pero, syempre, yung iba yung may experience na. So, ayun po, Jen Mercado Miranda. I think it's okay naman kasi ayun nga, isasabihin mo na lang sa client kasi kaya important yung discovery call na parang minsan sa resume is hindi mo malalagay lahat doon kasi 'di ba ang standard lang sana natin is 1 page. Kasi pag nag 2 page na parang hindi na siya applicable. So hindi mo lahat malalagay doon yung experience mo and parang ang odd kasing tingnan sa resume na wala kang 1 year doon doon sa bawat job na yon. Tapos explain mo kung bakit ka umalis. Kasi syempre baka anong isipin ni client, bakit hindi ka nagtagal dun sa job na yun? Baka may nangyari ba or what? Explain mo na lang din yung reason mo bakit hindi ka nakaabot ng 1 year doon or something. Ayun po. Thank you.
I love that answer. I'll come back to you, Cyril, with another question yung nakita natin kanina. But, Maria Del Mercado, Miranda, yung mga experiences natin, tignan mo lang kung ano ang relevant doon sa client. Kung ano ang sinabi ni client, wag mo nang idagdag pa yung mga ibang experiences mo. Kung meron kang maliit kahit konti lang, kahit 3 months experience diyan sa skills na demand ni client, that is what you're going to use. Kasi hindi naman natin fill upan ang isang buong pahina talaga ng katulad ng sinabi ni Sai na na isang buong pahina na ilalagay natin lahat ng mga experiences natin. If it is irrelevant, if the client doesn't have a care about your other experiences, wag niyo na kasing idagdag. Kung meron kayong experience doon sa particular na job description na sinasabi ni client, yun lang ang pag-usapan ninyo. Which brings us to Jasper. Sai, let's get back to Jasper. Is it advisable po ba to only focus on one area sa freelancing? Not sure what my niche is. Mas maganda po ba sa client pag portfolio mo is more on sa requirements nila?
Yes, Jasper. Ayun. Una is yes sa one area sa freelancing. And yes, if mas maganda if yung portfolio mo is more on sa requirements nila, katulad ng sagot ni Sir Phoenix kanina kay Jen. So, bali sa one area sa freelancing, ang reason bakit kailangan mo mag-niche down is because to be known dun sa niche mo. Example lang si Elizabeth Celo. Example is FB Ads expert siya. Kailangan niya mag-niche down, kailangan niya maging expert doon, kailangan niya parang maging magaling doon, tapos mag-brand awareness siya na parang, okay, I'm Elizabeth, I'm an FB Ads strategist for coaches. Ganon. Kaya ang niche down is para pag may naghahanap ng FB Ads strategist for coaches, siya agad yung may isip mo. Yun yung advantage para sa niching down. At saka kasi hindi magandang overall ka, parang malilito yung tao kung ano talaga yung offer mo. Tapos another one is yung requirements mo. Ayun, akin kasi sa sa discovery call ko talagang ginagawa. Ano ba yung kailangan nila? Saka ko ibibigay si portfolio ko para hindi sila makaka-know. Lahat ng requirements nila sa discovery call, nini-note down ko, of course. Tapos, after nun, edit ko si portfolio ng depende sa requirements nila or resume ko para nandun na yung hinahanap nila. Ayun. Siyempre, super, na yung question na parang mas maganda pa pag portfolio mo is more sa requirements nila. Of course, requirements nga required nila na yon. So, dapat meron ka nun. Kung wala ka nun, kahit man lang yung malapit sa requirements nila. Ayun po. Thank you.
I love that answer. Yeah, so thank you very much for that question, Jasper. Sai, I know that you are in a hurry, kaya Ana, let's go straight to advertisement.
Agad-agad.
There.
Ito na.
Oo. Meron tayong may nakita akong isang napakagandang tanong, babalikan po namin yan, pero before that, let us give you some reminders.
Wait. Okay. Kulit
Tagal,
nitong
in a
bata.
hurry nga, sabi eh.
Ang kulit ng bata dito sa tabi ko nangangalikot.
Ay.
Hindi ako maka-in-hurry. Ayan, announcements. Sa June 2, Wednesday, 6:30 p.m., Jazz Success interview with Mark Eugene Esteves. Office staff gets fired, regains confidence as a real estate VA. June 2 yan, 6:30 p.m. And next week, ang topic natin sa Flip Chat and Chill, time-saving tools successful freelancers use yan. Huwag niyong kalimutan yan. Next week ulit tayo, 6 p.m. And para dun sa mga gusto mag-enroll sa VA Bootcamp, punta ka lang sa vabootcamp.ph/enroll. Lifetime access na to. Meron tayong 4 na packages na. Skills only package, 3,990. Get hired package is 4,990. Ito yung ating bagong package. Accelerated package is 7,990. Combination to ng skills at saka get hired. And yung complete package naman natin ay 19,990. Tapos may mga free courses din tayo. Kung may paid, may free. So punta ka lang sa vabootcamp.ph/free courses, virtual assistance, SEO for beginners, social media management, e-commerce virtual assistance, intro to next level freelancing, intro to lead generation, email marketing, better English, bookkeeping, web design, and writing. Tapos meron tayong 10-day cover letter writing challenge. Punta ka lang sa vab.ph/cover letter challenge. Sign up lang nito is 500 pesos. So yan, avail mo na. Individual courses are back. So punta ka lang sa vabootcamp.ph/shop. Meron tayong better English for online success. Get things started with blogging na 1,490 pareho sila. So bookkeeping and QuickBooks for beginners, email marketing mechanics, freelance writing for beginners, SEO the way Google likes it, and social media for business management and marketing, websites 101, WordPress and HTML, e-commerce virtual assistants, lahat for 2,990 each. And meron din tayong next level freelancing na 2,990 lang. 101 is creating an irrefusable offer. 102, obtaining high-value clients. 103, starting a freelance agency. And, bakit thank you for watching na yun? No. May bundle tayo na 3 courses for Army. Bakit ganon? Bundle na 3 courses, pwede natin i-bundle sa 3. So, mas makakamura ka, 7,990 lang siya pag 3. So, yun. Avail all of this in the complete course at 19,990 and get to join a monthly coaching call by Jason Dulay. Exclusive to sa VAB Complete students. And dahil anniversary na natin ngayong bukas, June na, meron tayong calendar of activities. Yung June 12 natin na Sabado ay virtual meetup with flippers. Yung June 19 naman natin ay flip team song launch. Sa 26 naman, game night with students. At June 28 to 29, Flip Online Summit event for a cause. Yan. At si Phoenix ang ating sapilitang host dito. Nakakaloka, Sapilitan talaga, di ba? Hindi ka nakahindi nung sinabi sa'yo.
Basta tumango na lang ako dahil wala akong magagawa. Okay. Malapit na tayo sa oras, so let me give this question to LJ. If you say freelancing, does it necessarily mean that you only work for a client few hours and with scope limitations?
Not necessarily naman, kasi you can have multiple clients with different different types of parang scope of limitations. There are parang project based lang, 'di ba? And then there are some na parang regular talaga na may required number of hours in a day, in a week, or in a month. So, yung freelancing kasi, it's more on you being in charge of your own time, 'di ba? And you are just going to work with clients na gusto mo talaga.
Yes. Yes. Bale, kumbaga, Kate, kumbaga, ang freelancing is like por dea, if that translates even better. Por dea. So, it means to say, wala kang boss, wala kang amo, ikaw ang pipili kung kung sino ang gusto mong serbisyohan. So, right? So, that is what it means to be a freelancer. And
ganon. Yun ang be.
Yeah, ikaw ang magpa-fire ng amo mo kung gusto mo. That's why sometimes we call freelancing more a business rather than a job-seeking thing, right? So, thank you for that question. Kasi pag minsan nakakalimutan nga nating i-explain, ano nga ba ang freelancing, right? And Honey, this is yours. Hi, and you'll be here to be confident. I think ito yung sinasabi kong beautiful question. To be confident, I think it will take 3 months for me to build up. I am so much enslaved by my fear. What can you say about this, Honey?
I don't think you can. I don't think you can put a time frame on how you will eventually be confident. Kasi even up until now, I still experience moments na nawawala yung confidence ko. Especially, it happens kapag you are encountering something new. Or, kumbaga sa learning process, whenever you hit something, when you, kapag na-maximize mo na yung isang progress mo, di ba nagle-level up ka? So, kumbaga sa games, let's say sa games, nagle-level up ka. Pero kada level up mo, it's a new thing. It's something that you've never encountered before. Everything is new. Kumbaga yung mga tools na nagagamit mo nung level 1 ka, iba na siya ng level 2, enhanced na siya. So you will also have bigger bigger bosses to kill, more complex monsters to slay, kumbaga. So, ganun din sa buhay natin, each time we go level up ourselves, we always encounter this moment that we lose our confidence because it is something new and unknown to us. And this is something that we need to that's why sinasabi ko kanina, it's an everyday thing that you have to do to keep on working on your confidence every day. You don't also have that, you can't really put a time frame on overcoming your fears then, because hanggang ngayon I still have fears, I still palpitate sometimes, and that is okay kasi it's
Daming masyadong
wrong.
kape.
There is nothing wrong, and please everybody, do not think that you have to be perfect just to get a client, just to show up. No, that's not the case. Just be you, the normal you, but be the best you, the best version of you when you give your all to your client.
Love it, Beth. Magdadagdag lang din ako. Bali, nung newbie din ako, nandun din yung yung parang hindi ako confident sa sarili ko, pero alam kong magugutom kami pag hindi ko ginawa to. So yun nga, sabi nga nila, huwag kang maglagay ng time frame kasi hanggat hindi ka nagda-dive in or hindi mo sinusubukan, hindi mo malalaman kung ano yung kakayahan mo. So maraming VAB students na ganyan, na ready na talaga sila actually kasi natapos na nila yung course, pero lagi nang sinasabi, handa na ba ako? Pwede na ba akong kumuha ng client? Ganyan. So paano nyo malalaman kung ready na kayo kung hindi nyo susubukan, diba? Kasi ganun yung naging experience ko. Nang after ko matapos yung course, talagang sinubukan ko nang mag-apply. Nag-apply na talaga ako consistently. And yun, nakakuha naman ako ng client kahit kinakabahan ako. And yung kinakatakutan ko, talagang kinonquer ko. Kasi natatakot din ako. Katulad ng marami sa inyo, natatakot din ako magpa-interview. Natatakot ako magpag-Inglesan. Diba? Yan yung mga usual na fears ng mga newbies eh. Paano pag in-interview ako, tapos nabulol ako kasi English, hindi na ako makapagsalita, di ba? So yun, dapat talaga i-conquer mo siya kasi hindi mo malalaman na kaya mo until subukan mo. So yun, Elizabeth. Huwag mong lagyan ng time frame. I-go mo na yan. Go na. Now na. Di ba?
Yes. Yeah. Take the step now. Take the step now, Elizabeth. Kasi fear will always be beside you. Nandyan, it will always be lingering beside you. And yun nga, sabi ka ni Miss Honey, even until now, lahat naman kami, even to yung mga 10 years nang nagpe-freelancing hanggang ngayon, tanungin nyo sa kanila, meron at meron pa rin yung fear, meron at meron pa rin yung kaba. That's why I said this is such a beautiful question, Elizabeth, kasi it is something that we still carry with us. And it's just a matter of, putting it on the side. Sige lang, fear. Okay lang na nandyan ka. But pagperahan ko muna yung fear na yan. Parang gano'n na lang ang isipin mo, right?
Yes.
Elizabeth? All right, since we are nearing the closing time, let's go through the usual roundabout. Let's start with Sai. What is the best advice that you can give to our audiences today?
It's regarding dun sa fear. Ayun, you will never know until you try. Baka kasi, yung steps na takot kang itry, yun talaga yung mga steps na mag-grow sa'yo. And sometimes, yun yung inaantay ng breakthrough. Yung mga steps na takot kayong gawin or i-risk, yun yung mga steps talaga na magpapakita sa'yo kung ano pa talaga yung kaya mong gawin. Then, ayun, don't let fear controls you. Thank you, Carmi. Tapos, kasi sino ba talo? It's you pa din. Ikaw yung talo. Nagpatalo ka sa fears mo. Tapos, you just need to go out sa comfort zone mo. Kasi doon ka mag-grow. Yun yung reason bakit ka sa freelancing. Kung bakit ka papasok sa freelancing. Tsaka, ayun lang, learn lang. Huwag kang matakot sumubo kasi hindi mo malalaman hanggat hindi mo sinusubukan. Tapos, maybe just try freelancing para malaman mo if gusto mo. Tapos kung hindi naman, andyan lang naman si corporate world. Pero ayun, try freelancing mo na. Once pumasok ka, hindi mo na gusto lumabas. Ayun lang.
I love that. Just try it out. Subukan nyo lang. Malay mo magustuhan mo. Kaya nga, just take the step forward. Lahat kayong mga my fears, sige lang, basta subukan nyo lang. Huwag nyo lang intindihin yung mga fears ninyo dahil nandyan yung mga yan. Subukan nyo lang. I love that, Sai. And for your information, ladies and gentlemen, si Sai isa sa mga pinakabata nating successful freelancers. Isa sa mga pinakabata nating successful freelancers. I assure you na marami siyang pinagdaanan, marami siyang mga strategies na ginawa. And she thrived as a freelancer right now. Yeah, let's go to sandali. Anna, screenshot nga muna.
What? Anong gagawin?
Screenshot nga muna. Kasi
Screenshot?
parang
Kasi baka may lumayas.
baka lalayas na si Sai.
Ayan. Picturean ko na. Agad-agad, master. Ito na po. Ayan na. Tapos na po ang picture.
Okay, nangawit ako dun eh. Okay. Sai, if ever you're compelled to exit, sige lang, it's okay. Thank you very much, Sai, for being with us today. Maraming salamat.
Thank you,
I'm not
Sai.
throwing you out, hindi kita pinapalayas, pero if you are compelled to go out, sige lang, go. Let's go to LJ. What about you? What's the biggest advice that you can give to our audiences today?
Siguro the biggest advice would be start now. As in, ngayon na talaga, di ba? You can't get back the time that you've lost. And if you're putting it on a timeline na matagal pa, 3 months, 6 months, siguro mga 1 year pa siguro ako feeling ko mag-a-apply or confidence sa skills ko, then you would have already lost 1 year worth of opportunities, di ba? So, go ahead and take that opportunity now kasi hindi natin alam kung ano mangyayari sa future. It's still very uncertain nowadays, di ba? So, might as well make the most out of it and not have any regrets when it comes to your freelancing career.
Aba, niliitan din na ni LJ. Iniksiyan din ni LJ. By the way, Sai, pahabol, is there anything you'd like to advertise o meron kang pa-shoutout? Mali mo.
Okay na po. Opo. Okay naman po.
Okay. Thank you. Pasensya na ha. LJ, what about you? Is there anything you'd like to advertise o meron kang pa-shoutout?
Nothing naman. Okay na, Phoenix. Thanks.
Aba, itong mga to, very short and brief. Lahat sila may appointment ng 7 o'clock. What about you, honey? What's the biggest advice that you can give to everybody?
Siyang wala. Kasi
Wala akong
Wala siyang 7 o'clock.
Yes. So, since I've noticed that, syempre, the main pain point of a newbie or even a tenured freelancer is fear talaga. I would suggest going into fear setting, which I have been doing ever since the world began. Yes. But fear setting is, and I've mentioned this before, I don't know kung naalala ng ibang nakakinig na, but fear setting is making sure that you establish what your fears are, make a list of your fears, and then put a why question on each of the answers that you give sa bawat fears mo. So let's say, for example, pag hindi ako mag-apply, if I don't apply to a job, then what will happen? Ano mangyayari? Hindi ka magkakaroon ng income. Anong mangyayari kung hindi ka magkaroon ng income? Si Judith at wala kang makain, di ba?
Gutom.
Ganun siya. You just have
Walang
to
milk
break it
tea.
down.
Yun ang kinakapagod na namin ni Beth. Ang magdabang.
You always think of it that way, and that's already a good motivator for you to catapult you into action. And if not now, when? That's my question.
Oh, yeah.
If not you, who? Dugtungan.
Yung.
I love that. Yeah, so, parang Honey is like the nicer version of me.
Yes.
It's very nice lang kasi pagsabi niya. Very, very nice lang kasi pagkasabi eh. Ako, very harsh naman pag if I say those.
I'm the nice version of you, yes.
I love that.
I watered
Alright.
down your statements.
Diluted. All right, awesome, honey. Is there anything you'd like to advertise o meron kang ipapa-shout out?
Awesome too.
Ay, wala naman. Pero shout out to my VAs, my agency team. Hello, hello. Ayan na, nag-hello na yung ano ko. Yung si Grace, one of my VAs.
Yung mga
Oh, by the
pala
way,
ko,
ladies, to the rest of you, ladies and gentlemen, who don't know Miss Honey and me and LJ and even Sai, go ahead and check them out. Follow them. Makikita nyo, you will find them on social media. Makikita nyo kung ano ang works nila. It's really an art form, if I say so myself. It's a work of art. Lahat yung mga trabaho nila, yung mga pinapost nila, lahat yung mga sinusulat nila. Those are beautiful messages that will inspire everybody if you get to check them out. Kaya paki-check na lang kung anong ginagawa nila. Anna, is there anything you'd like to add?
ayun, gaya ng nasabi nga nila Hani at ni Elch, normal lang yung matakot. Pinagdaanan din namin yan. Pero yun, mas nakakatakot magutom. Ayaw namin ni Hani magutom. So, kung ayaw mo magutom, ngayon na, gutom ka na. Kailangan mo lang maghanap ng client. Kasi yan talaga, pag hindi mo talaga in-overcome yung fear mo na yan, talagang mananatili na lang yung natatakot ka at nakasadla ka lang sa isang lugar na hindi mo gusto. Basta i-push mo lang. Like yung kanina ngang nagtanong, sabi niya ay 3 months pa bago mabibuild ang kanyang confidence. Try mo na ngayon, as in now na, para malaman mong kaya mo pala. Di ba?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a very beautiful question. Sa totoo lang, I wish that we could delve into that question more. I wish we had time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the question of the day is: can your freelancing career survive another pandemic? As you can see, we all agree that the answer is yes. Nakita nyo naman bakit kayo nandito? Bakit maraming mga pumupunta sa freelancing ngayon? Because in fact, ayaw naming sabihin na blessing in disguise ang COVID. Ayaw naming sabihin yon. But the truth is, due to the pandemic, dumami lalo ang demands ng freelancers. Dumami lalo ang demands ng mga virtual assistants. So, if any disaster strikes again, chances are, as long as the world still has internet and electricity, kakailanganin pa rin tayo regardless of what disaster that we may need to face. So that is the question of the day. May pahabol ito kasi kanina pero patapos na kasi tayo. Sabi ni Yeye Estanislao Tadios, hi, I'm a newbie, totally clueless with everything teacher for more than 10 years and ngayon gusto ko ng bitawan. Kaso pag ginagawa ko ang resume, I suddenly feel discouraged as feeling ko walang papansin since ang layo ng pagtuturo sa trabaho na gusto ko. Gusto ko na kasi non-voice, so I'll have time for my child. Can I get encouraging words from you that I still have chance? Overtime tayo muna, panel, since wala na yung nagmamadali. Wala na si Sai. Wala na si Sai. Kaya ako minadali dahil may meeting si Sai. Saya, shout out. Instead of me answering this myself, what about tayong lahat? Let's start with LJ.
So she's a teacher, 'di ba? And then she wants to, hindi siya sure kung yung current experience niya would be kaya niya ma-translate into online or sa freelancing. So if you are wanting a specific type of work, you actually have an advantage because you know how to teach other people, 'di ba? So you can teach yourself, right?
Oh yeah.
'Di ba? So you can learn yourself and use yung mga teaching methodology sa inyo more on implementation and then 'di ba outlining kung ano man yung gusto nyo matutunan to yourself, 'di ba? So that's actually a very big advantage na for you. You just have to put in the work.
I love that. Yes. Actually, ikaw ang isa sa mga, aside from Miss 20 years in legal, ikaw rin ang isa sa mga, to be honest, malaki ang advantage sa freelance. What about you, honey? What's your take on this the problem with Miss Yeye?
I think you're being too literal with your work experience, which is what is wrong. And a majority of the people out there, when they move into freelancing, iniisip lang nila na literal, na ita-translate nila, whereas they don't know that they can break down more of their behind the scenes na tasks na ginagawa nila. Creating lesson plans is a typical example of being somebody who is organized and making planning. And that can fall under the category of project management dahil nagpa-plan ka, nagpa-plot ka, you are making several things, you are making something pretty out of a messy structure. And creating a nice lesson plan to present to a student. And the fact that you're teaching students means that you have that patience to actually teach even people that may be in the team. So pwede kang maging a manager over other VAs. Yung parang ganon. So I don't think you should be translating things literally. Instead, what you should do is yung mga tasks na ginawa mo, break it down and make it appear like as if na ito yung mga kaya mong gawin because I have this kind of experience when I was teaching. Ganon siya. It was also a mistake that I did kasi training yung background ko. I thought na kailangan maging trainer din ako online. But that was the mistake because back then I didn't know it existed, pero now I know. Pwede pala i-break down further on your different experiences and your different tasks that you used to do. Talk to me. Yes, oh my God.
Yeah, di ba?
Dial 1-800 awesome money.
Nakita na niya ang potential mo. Yeah. Nakita ni Miss Sandy ang potential mo. Kaya, go ahead, doctor.
Sayang mo, si Jeline, teacher siya actually. So, kung nandito ka, share niya experience niya. Pero yun, tama nga si Honey. Baka na ano ka lang na i-translate yung, baka akala mo kailangan din maging teacher ka online, diba? Pero pwede rin naman yun. Pero kung gusto mo, mas marami ka pa nga talagang ma-offer since teacher ka nga. And yun, I suggest din, para maka-create ka ng magandang profile, pwede mo naman siyang i-YouTube or i-Google din kung wala kang balak mag-enroll sa mga paid courses, ganyan. Kasi marami namang free courses online. And I'm very sure, dahil teacher ka nga, mas mabilis ka makapag-absorb and matuto dahil nga tinuturo mo din, di ba, sa iba yung mga natututunan mo. So yun, eventually mafe-feel mo na para dito ka rin. Gaya nga ni Jeline, yun, successful na siya. Parang last year lang siya naging freelancer, nag-join lang din siya dun sa summit na meron tayo ulit this June. So yun, baka pwedeng manood ka din noon para mas ma-inspire ka pa. And marami din tayong mga interviews, mga just success interviews, like si Phoenix, may interview siya this Wednesday, panoorin mo din para mas ma-inspire ka pa kung para dito ka ba. So yun, marami kang skills na pwedeng i-offer. So yun, wag mo lang siyang isipin na parang teacher ka, na-discourage ka kasi baka hindi mo kaya or baka wala kang skill na pwedeng offer. Marami. So I hope na encourage ka namin.
Yeah, I'm so glad that the rest of the panel has given you words of encouragement. Yeah. And to those of you, each and every one of you, lahat kayo, ladies and gentlemen, dahil napansin ko sa tanong ninyo, there is one common denominator. Hindi nyo pa kasi sinilip kung ano talaga ang freelancing. Marami sa inyo itong gumagawa ng preemptive movements na you have to prepare, you have to be ready for this because you have this certain assumption of freelancing. I encourage you to go check it out. Go to freelancer.com, go to Upwork, marami tayong mga platforms na pwede yung tignan and try to see what's going on there. Kung makikita, if you get to understand what's happening there, that is where you will see kung ano talaga yung kailangan doon. Especially Maria with 20 years of experience in legal, and you, Miss Yeye, and even the college student, Miss Mary. I want you to go check it out. Go to freelancer.com at least or onlinejobs.ph. Yan ang silipin ninyo. Kasi sa Upwork, makikita niyo ba sa Upwork kahit hindi ka member doon? Will you be able to see what's happening with the job applications and such?
Yeah,
if you're Oh yeah. So Upwork is also another website that I encourage you to check out and see what's going on there. Kung paano ang mga lumalabas na mga job descriptions, anong sinasabi ng mga clients, and sometimes you might also be able to see the reviews of the applicants, mga freelancers na dumaan sa kanila, so that you will be able to have a good idea, a good grasp of what freelancing really is and what you can do with it. And then after that, saka kayo pumunta sa amin na to seek advice on what you can offer. So that's my take on that. Miss Yaya, maraming salamat. Pero ang dami niyong mga magagandang tanong. Kaso dun sa pinakadulo niya na ilalabas yung mga tanong na yon. And so I hope, ladies and gentlemen, that next time, pag meron kayong naisip na tanong, agad-agad isabak nyo na sa pinakasimula pa lang bago namin batiin ang mga guest, ang mga viewers. Sabihin nyo na kung ano ang tanong ninyo, and we will definitely have more time to be able to address your questions. But until then, thank you very much for being with us, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.